There are going to be spoilers for this entire video, so
Warning.
If you don't want to... Wow, we should do an intro first. So we just got back from watching Violent Night, Christmas movie. We are about to give our uncensored and spoiler-laden review of the film and reaction. So if you do not want spoilers, go to said time code right here to get... I don't even know why you're here. Go watch the movie and then come back. Or watch this. I mean...
That movie had no right to be as wholesome as it was and as gory and violent as it was. You're not allowed to make me flinch and cover my eyes that much, but also go, aw, that knife you just stabbed in that man is now in my heart. Like, why?
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions.
It was so much more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to walk out of it either feeling very mediocre about it or not a huge fan, but I really, really enjoyed it. It was great. I saw one trailer and I only saw like a minute of the trailer to the point where I didn't really know what was happening. So one of the scenes they play in the trailer is the two Santas at the bar. And so I thought it was one of those things where their universe was a bunch of Santas all like had different sections of the world. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And so I didn't realize that one was real and one was, not real. So I didn't get that off the trailer.
I kind of went into it thinking it would be like if John Wick starred Santa. And in a way, we kind of got that.
It was like a perfect blend.
Yeah, I believe.
I believe.
I believe.
The movie ended up being, we decided, kind of a mix of Home Alone.
Deadpool.
And Miracle on
34th Street.
Miracle on 34th Street. Yeah.
So if you like all three movies, oh boy,
I think it actually leans more toward John Wick than Deadpool.
The humor, I think, is a little more Deadpool. Like the gory humor style, I think is a little more Deadpool. Like it almost bordered on breaking the fourth wall with some of the jokes that it had. It was like a very self-aware humor movie. And I think Deadpool 2 goes for more tugging on the heartstrings than John Wick does. Like
John
I could
Wick's
see
that Italian movie.
I could see a Deadpool Christmas special looking like this.
The violence is like over the top in like a very highly stylized type of way. Creative, almost too creative.
Honestly, one of my comments on the movie is that I think they could have toned the violence down a little bit. It was a bit too much at points.
Yeah.
I think unnecessarily violent at points.
I think it's like the wet sound effect.
I feel like it would be, like a lot on a rewatch too.
Yeah.
It just seems like...
I think you could have toned the blood and gore down by 50%, still gotten your R rating with the cuss words, and still achieved the same effect you were going for, and it would have actually made it a more wholesome film.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're not going for a wholesome all the way.
But I mean, there's something that
but maybe tastefulness.
Maybe.
They want to be a little bit more I see what you mean.
I mean, if you're going to bring your girlfriend to this movie,
What's that again?
Emotional damage.
Oh, that'd be good.
I think one of my notes is they very briefly tease kind of who Santa was before he became Santa and what he used to do. And I kind of wish they had leaned into that a little more. I wanted to know more about Santa and I wanted to know a little bit of his backstory because they kept hinting at it. And I was like, okay, the hammer thing is cool and they'll set that up for later. But I wanted to know more about him and how he became Santa. I just think that would have been a really cool backstory. Since they had already kind of started teasing it a little, I think they should have committed and gone all the way.
I don't know. I like teasing at it. I hate it when movies try to explain magic and they're like, oh my gosh,
No.
he walked into the woods and then he touched this thing and the sugar plum fairy came and was like, Kris Kringle now. And he's like, okay.
I don't mean explain the magic. I mean explain how he became Santa. Just give me something other than I don't get a brutal warrior to gift-giving Santa. In my mind, there's absolutely nothing that connects those two.
There's one thing, Andrew, that you're forgetting. Christmas magic.
Hold on, I'm watching it connect. No, it didn't work. It doesn't. That doesn't. In my mind, they're two different characters. Like at some point, I think he died and like was reincarnated as Santa. That's the only thing that makes sense. And it's just like, it was a thing that is a plot hole for me.
That's fair. I really wanted Mrs. Claus to show up at the end.
I was hoping that would happen.
That would have been cool.
Like if
Yeah.
she had come on the sleigh and she hands him his hammer.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been cool if she had been like the one to kill the final bad guy. Like, you know, she's like, your reindeer showed up without you, so she came down to like...
Oh, that would have been cool.
I think it's okay that
Yeah.
she wasn't in the movie. Like, I don't think the movie is worse for it.
Yeah.
And I think
No,
it
that
would've been
would
too
have
much.
elevated. No, I think that would have
I
elevated.
think that
the
would have
movie
put
a
the cherry
little.
on top, or would
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
tied the bow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like Charlize Theron
This will be
is
my
like,
last
it's
episode.
Mrs.
Absolutely
Claus.
not. I
No?
would be out of the movie right then and there.
David Harbour as Santa
Oh
Claus.
my god.
Excellent choice.
Yeah,
he
Yeah.
pulled it
so
off
good.
very well.
I think this movie did a great job of showing us what we missed in Black Widow. Like we could have had this version of David Harbour in Black Widow, and we were robbed of that. And honestly, getting this for Christmas was my dream come true.
We
Christmas
kind
miracle.
of got like a teaser of it in season 4 of Stranger Things. A little bit of that side.
Yeah.
I'd dial up to 11 in this performance, of course. But yeah, he really held his own. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
he
did
did a great job.
I think they did a really good job of like grounding his character, but also making his relationship with the main little girl in the movie, Gertrude. And I think that immediately connecting his character to her, because so they do it really early on, like almost first act, they create this connection. And I think that honestly is like they created this like heart of the movie, and they're like, this is what our movie is about, and this movie is about Christmas bringing families together, which is what every Christmas movie is about. And I think that because they nailed that, I think that was like, you know, that was able to what was like guided us through, and us wanting to like really root for Santa and root for the family to get back together, because this girl believed that her parents would get back together and that Santa would save Christmas. So I think that was like such a smart choice, and I think that worked really well.
I agree. The family was really hard to like, a majority
Yeah.
of them. And so it was like, sometimes it was like, okay, I mean, if you off them right now, I ain't even gonna be mad, bro.
Yeah, and it felt like that was by design. It's like, okay, clearly it's this like family that's like the exception to the rule, where like there's a good family and then everyone else is crazy, which I guess is fine. That like I could take it or leave it. The two parents, they're all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were trying. I liked that.
I think they immediately set up the dad is also like somebody who wanted to change, which I also think they set up the family really well, where they had unlikable characters, but they still gave us characters to root for really early on.
Yeah, yeah,
Which is really
absolutely.
nice.
The villain was pretty well done too.
I thought the villain was
he
pretty well done too.
Vicious. The voice of Sid, John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
and
it was John Leguizamo.
Yeah, and you know he sold it. You know, yeah. Like I don't know if he's played like a villain role like that before, but he really killed it. Kind of felt like a mobster type.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shall we do ratings? All right.
Okay. I was trying to figure out like what to rate it. It's a fun, like enjoyable time. It's not for everyone. If you're squeamish about, you know, blood and violence and all that, it's definitely not for you. I think it's like a solid 7 out of 10.
I found myself really enjoying the film. I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I would. And I loved the heart that the movie had, and just how much it seemed like the characters were also enjoying the movie they were in. I agree with you, Nick, that it's definitely not for everyone. Like, I was thinking, like, would I show my parents this? And I was like, absolutely not. And overall, I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10 as well. A really enjoyable watch.
I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10 as well. I think that when you said if they had dialed down the gore just a smidge, I think it would have probably knocked up its rewatch value a little bit more for me. I definitely did cover my eyes, but I think that the heart of the movie really, really was quite enjoyable.
We'll see you guys in the new year for more of these films. Believe in Santa Claus. He's real. Believe.
He'll get you.